Game Up, they make a thirst-quenching adult beverage with a special blend of electrolytes. Comes in 4 great flavors: fruit punch, lemon lime, orange, and grape.
That's right. Only 110 calories, low carb. Enjoy yourself some Game Up. UFC 12 this weekend. Overall, not really excited about this card, except for, I think, obviously a great main event. And I think fight I'm most excited for is this co-main event. Is there anything else besides on the main cards got your attention?
Prelim fight, the featured fight on the prelims, Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. Jack is a fun fighter. You may have remembered him. He's an Australian guy. He's broken multiple opponents' legs with kicks, but he's an underdog in this fight. So I'm rooting for Jack. I kind of wish his fight was on the main card, but it's not. So we'll watch it on the prelims. Leading off the main card, Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado.
Prado is 12-2, 6 KOs, 6 subs, 1-2 in the UFC. So his only 2 losses are in UFC competition. He's all finishes, but again, his 2 losses are in UFC. So as his competition has been stepping up, you see where he is struggling a bit. Jake Matthews, this guy is kind of the ultimate UFC journeyman, in my opinion. You know, middle of the card, win some, lose a couple, win some. But he's 20-7, 5 KOs, 8 subs, 7 decisions. He's had fight of the night twice, performance of the night once. He is a solid test for Francisco here. Again, I don't know if I'm necessarily overwhelmed by Francisco far, but this could be a fun fight stylistically. I could see them both looking for a finish. I'll go Francisco. I'll say Drake Matthews is just, you know, he's had a lot of fights in his career at this point at the UFC. So I'm just wondering, you know, Francisco maybe takes him out. Round 2, TKO.
Yeah, Jake is on a long streak of win one, lose one,
yeah.
And it's his time to lose again. So most of his losses are versus up-and-coming prospects. In steps Francisco Prado, 22 years old with a 12-2 record, all wins or finishes, like you said. So I think Prado gets a round 1 KO. Jimmy Krute versus Rodolfo Bellato.
Bellato is 12-2, 7 KOs, 4 subs, 1 decision. He's on a 4-fight win streak, and he's 1-0 in the UFC. Jimmy Krute is 12-4-1, 5 KOs, 4 subs, 3 decisions. He's 0-3-1 in his last 4 fights. That's unfortunate. I don't like that statistics. I've always liked Jimmy Krute. Think he's a fun guy, but I'm going to say he loses by decision.
Yeah, Jimmy Krute hasn't won since 2020. I get that, you know, Australian, so in his backyard, but I'll pick Rodolfo by decision as well. Yeah. I don't think he's going to get finished. He's tough, but I don't see him winning this one. Justin Tafa versus Tallison Teixeira.
Heavyweights. He's 7-0. He's got 6 KOs and one sub, and he's coming off a win on the Contender Series. This is his UFC debut, so that's fun. Justin Tafa 7-4-1, all knockouts. So someone's probably going out here. Justin Tafa is 3-1-1 in his last 4 fights. So this is going to be a fun one. It's your UFC debut. That's what I'm a little concerned about with the young prospect Teixeira and Justin, and he likes to bang. So Tafa's kind of your guy, and Tafa's on a streak. I'm going to go Tafa here. I'll go Tafa KO round 2, but Teixeira wins. Good on him. Maybe he's going to be something good to watch.
Yeah, like you, I assume someone's going to sleep in this one unless both guys just sit back waiting to counter, like that Pavlovich-Rosenstruck fight. If and when they engage, it'll be wild for a couple seconds, and whoever lands first is probably going to win by KO. So yeah, I'm going to pick the vet Tafa in this. He's dealt with power punchers before, and like you mentioned, UFC debut and jitters on a main card in the other guy's home region. I think Tallison being 7-0 with 6 KOs will also have him a bit overconfident in his power and feel like he's ready to go in there and bang and show his power. So I'm going to pick Tafa round 1 KO.
Co-main event.
Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez.
Suarez is 10-0, 2 KOs, 5 subs, 3 decisions, and 7-0 in the UFC. She was a former Ultimate Fighter winner as well. Great story. She was going for the Olympics in wrestling. She had a neck injury. They found out she had cancer. She's overcome cancer. She's had other neck injuries, knee injuries. She's always managed to come back. That being said, let's keep in mind, she's had a lot of injuries the last couple of years that you're taking on. Zhang Weili or Weili Zhang. I never know what to call her nowadays. I guess
it's different depending on who you're hearing it from.
Yeah, but
all Chinese fighters are like that.
Yeah, she's 25-3, 11 KOs, 8 subs. subs, 6 decisions. She's had this strawweight title 2 times now, besides being the current champ. 3 successful title defenses overall. Second most title fight wins in UFC women's strawweight history. Fight of the night once. Performance of the night 4 times. So she's fun, but also she's a beast. Like, she's a beast. Now, Suarez is one of the few people who's probably not going to get bullied by Zhang Weili, so she's going to be able to match her when these girls are grappling and may even have the advantage. I say maybe. I would have said she would have before. But since Zhang Weili has been learning how to grapple more in the last couple of years, and she had been working with Henry Cejudo before, she seems like her grappling is just on another level too. And her striking is definitely, I would give her the advantage in the striking. So I got to go with Zhang Weili here. I'll say it's a great fight. I'll say Suarez even puts her in trouble a few times, maybe early on with the grappling. But I'll say as the fight goes on and we're in those championship rounds, I think Suarez will probably get finished TKO round 4.
I know Weili's one of the greatest fighters of all time in the UFC. I'm certainly a fan of hers and think, she has a very good chance of winning, but a healthy Tatiana Suarez is something she's never dealt with before. So this is assuming Tatiana's coming in healthy. We aren't aware of any injuries, but she does have a long history of bad injuries. So nobody has the kind of wrestling that Suarez has. Plus her size, I think it's just going to be really hard for Weili. So I think it's going to be too much for her, in fact. So I'm going to pick Suarez by decision. I think Suarez wins a lot of rounds, maybe 4, maybe all 5 rounds.
Okay. I hope that she does get the title. It's a great story. So
yeah, absolutely. Main event, Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland 2.
Strickland, 29-6, 11 KOs, 4 subs, 14 decisions. He's won 4 out of his last 5. He's the former champ. DDP, 22-2, 9 KOs, 11 subs, 2 decisions, 8-0 in the UFC, current middleweight champion, performance of the night twice, and fight of the night twice. Last time these guys fought each other, split decision war, a fight that a lot of media was really split on too. There were a lot of people thought DDP won, a lot of people thought Strickland won. Dana even said, not in a bad way, but he said he thought Strickland won in round 5. Super close. Difference here to me is both fighters are constantly working on improving. I think DDP is making a few more bigger steps. I think you could have argued Strickland won that first fight, but I think this time around, and with the confidence, like Freddie Roach likes to say, when you become a champion, you automatically become 30% better. DDP's not only become a champion, he's got his first defense. Now he's going to fight a guy that he knows he's capable of beating. He's beaten once in his mind, even if it was close. I say all the momentum will go to him, and I'll say he's going to get a late round 5 submission. Strickland will either tap or he'll pass out.
Yeah, we're pretty in line with this. Very close first fight. I am in the camp where I thought Sean actually won that first one. Very close. Nobody got robbed. Mm-hmm. I just have a feeling that Dricus is going to get it done. Like you said, once you're champ, you can probably tack on, 30% to what you were doing before. Sean is very hard to hit, and apparently he has very good grappling. We never see it. So I don't think he's going to get finished. But Dricus, all it takes is 1 or 2 shots early on. If he lands on Sean, he's going to get his respect and stop that pressure. And then he's going to do a much better job of mixing in takedowns and keeping Sean guessing and landing. When he does land, they're going to be impactful and meaningful for those judges. So I think people are sick of seeing Sean, and, judges watch these fights too. They're going to hear, the crowd and everything, and just Sean's like teep kick thing where he's just standing on one leg. It doesn't really look great for judging, I don't think. So I think Dricus is going to land the more impactful shots and a few takedowns and get a decision win.
If you haven't tried Game Up, then you are missing out. Imagine your favorite seltzer and your favorite sports drink had a baby, but it's way better than that. Each can is 110 calories, low carb, 4.9 ABV. It's a nice light drink that is not light on flavor. Game Up comes in fruit punch, orange, lemon, lime, and grape. Pick it up at drinkgameup.com.